Hello and welcome to Data Centre Review Live 2026. This event is all about hearing from some of the industry's leading voices on the big issues shaping the UK data centre sector. Alongside the main stage sessions, we're also catching up one-to-one with key industry voices. I'm joined by Greg Thomas from UrbanChain's to get his perspective on where the industry is heading, what needs to change, and how data centres can scale quickly while delivering responsibly. Greg, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Amanda.
The UK data centre sector is under pressure to scale quickly, but also responsibly. From your perspective, what is the single biggest challenge facing the industry right now?
I think what we're seeing in the data center industry is there's no lack of demand and ambition for growth of the data centers. I see one of the key challenges from our perspective working in the energy industry as looking at scalability alongside grid connection, as well as access to traceable renewable energy from the UK. I think the difficulty data centers are currently under is how do we get access to grid connection and capacity against a number of other data centers who are also competing in that area.
AI and high-performance computing continue to lead the conversation, both at this event and in the industry more widely. So what operators need to rethink most urgently when designing or upgrading facilities for these workloads?
I think we see AI and the compute associated with AI as one of the key challenges moving forward, but we don't see energy as a separate conversation. We believe they both operate in the same sphere, and thinking about those as a collective is really important for data centers' ambition and expansion in the UK, linking back to the increased demand for energy from the data centers. That's somewhere by having a really credible energy partner looking at sustainable solutions is going to be really important to the data centers moving forward.
One of the biggest challenges facing the industry is access to power. How does the industry balance this with its growth ambitions?
I think that's a really great question. And I think what we're seeing is a recognition that traditional connection methods aren't going to meet the growing demand of data centers as the use of AI continues to grow. So this is where UrbanChain comes in terms of the innovative methods that we're discussing and we're thinking about with customers, whether that is either directly connecting to renewable generators to source local traceable energy, or whether it's looking at microgrids or indeed private wire connections. These are some of the innovations that we think will be really important to support the scale and growth of data centers moving forward. And the key part of that is that renewable traceable energy for data centers, as that also impacts the social value element of the conversations that are being had.
The growing power needs come at a time when the nation is looking to decarbonise, and obviously data centres are highlighted as having quite a large environmental impact. So how does the industry balance the need to reduce its environmental impact with also its ambitious growth strategy?
I think part of the answer is around empowering data centres to get access and utilise the generation that is available to them. At the moment, a lot of renewable generation is either wasted or curtailed in the UK. The way we solve some of the environmental impact is by ensuring that that doesn't happen. So that's ensuring that data centers have access to local clean energy that's also traceable. And that's something that UrbanChain can support with. What we've been hearing a lot about recently is gas connections for data centers. That certainly, from my perspective, moves us away from that 2030 clean power goal and electrification of the grid.
Trust is another challenge that faces the industry. It seems to be struggling with communication and has been vilified actually by some sections of the public. So what does it need to do to build better public trust and explain its value to the UK economy?
I think that's a really great question again. And it's this social value piece and communicating with the local community that's key for me. We hear a lot about what's happening with data centers in the USA, aquifer usage, eradication of local supplies. And that's simply not something that we're seeing in the UK with data centers. So it's about relaying that message, but also promoting that positive message about local energy. So for instance, data centers connecting with local generators in their energy network to provide that clean, traceable, renewable power, I think has a key value to the society that they're working with. Again, reutilizing heat waste to secure energy for homes will also be really important to that.
Meeting future demand won't just come from new build sites, which are the ones that garner the most opposition. A lot will depend on upgrades, retrofits and operational improvements across existing sites. So what should operators prioritise when they're modernising legacy infrastructure?
So first and foremost, I think it's important to note that old data centres weren't designed with the demand that we have at this point and in the future in mind. So what we have to do as an energy industry is support with that scalability, but also that visibility of energy usage and how that's been used, while also connecting people and collaborating across industries so we can support each other with managing the local networks and also the supply of energy to them. So it's really trying to solve that issue for me.
One last question then. Looking ahead to 3 to 5 years' time, what do you think is going to separate the leaders of the pack in this industry?
I think it's treating energy as a strategic opportunity rather than an operating cost. And what I mean by that is investing in understanding how energy can be beneficial, both from an operational standpoint, but also from a sustainability perspective. So looking at flexibility, looking at opportunities to build local energy networks, as well as also building that into the larger sustainability picture. Those are going to be the protagonists in the data center industry.
Thank you so much for speaking to us today, Greg. That's been really insightful. For more conversations and insight from Data Center Review Live 2026, head to the DCR website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or follow us across our social channels. But for now, thanks for watching.